we have to talk about the state of Cities Skylines 2 and the future of the game. Now, before we are jumping into this, I have to make something very clear. I don't like to create those type of videos, right? When I'm feeling that the game is in a bad state or I really don't have the joy anymore in the game, I'm moving on from said game. I always find it weird when other content creators are creating hit piece over hit piece of the game they are creating content for every day, and they want that people basically come back to watch those videos and come back to play the game, but they're doing everything to just make the game look bad, right? It's this, well, if you really don't like this game anymore, then move on, find something else. But apparently the advertisement money from YouTube is too delicious. But whatever, that is not really the point of the video. I want to talk about the issues this game has right now. It also helps my sanity a little bit. And then I want to talk about the future of this game, because I really like this game. I really do like Cities Skylines 2, and personal opinion, I enjoy Cities Skylines 2 more than I enjoy the first one, for various gameplay implementations. But the reality is, the game is in a state right now where I have to admit it becomes really tough for me to enjoy the game and also create videos for it. And I'm not even talking about the performance. That the performance is what it is, well, that's one thing, right? Like, that my PC is running at 100% usage, like no matter if I'm looking at my bustling city here or if I'm looking at a completely new map, it's always at 100% usage, and you wonder yourself, what the hell is going on here, right? We know that those issues exist, and that's not really what I want to talk about. But what I want to talk about today is just the sheer amount of weird gameplay decisions and bugs. As you know, I have been producing quite a bit of videos here on the channel regarding guides and what you have to look out for when you are playing Cities Skylines 2, and I'm still planning on doing that in the future. But I have now reached a point where I'm sometimes sitting here for literal hours to understand one specific gameplay mechanic, and then at the end wonder, is this how it's supposed to work? Or is this a bug? And then, often or not, it turns out, oh, it was bugged. Well, great, right? And that makes videos so hard to produce, because not only it takes it hours and hours to create like a 6-minute video sometime, but it also makes me look bad when I'm sitting here in front of YouTube and tell you, hey, this is how it works, you should do this and this. And then it turns out, nah, that's not actually how it works, you completely got it wrong, or because it was bugged on your end, you have now wrong data, and you gave us wrong information. That makes me look like an idiot and somebody you cannot trust on guides. And that is so important that that works, right? So we have now reached a point where I'm just struggle a little bit with my own sanity when I want to create a new video. And let's talk about some issues Cities Skylines has. And I think the biggest issue right now is literally traffic. Yes, I know my city has not the greatest traffic. And by the way, this is an old save, but it has one of the things I wanted to show you. And there was an accident here. This is why traffic is also shit. But this particular area is what drives me crazy, right? So the cars have to make a decision if they want to take this road or if they want to continue on this road. And they are staying on their lane for the last second, and this is where they then start to change their lanes. But because they're all changing the lane at the same point, they're creating their own traffic jams. Like, this area always has traffic jams because they are all changing their lanes, even though they are using this road on a daily basis to get to their jobs and then later on go home. And I'm like, seriously? And they can't really do anything about that. It's just how it is, right? Another issue, which is happening more and more for me, is this. You see this huge traffic jam right here, and you're wondering, why is that? Because of this. I have more and more vehicles which are just standing in the middle of the road. They're just standing there. It's like the person basically left the vehicle and just it stands in the middle of the road. What happened here? Well, I have a theory because I have noticed something when this happens. So it seems like this has to do with jaywalkers. When a pedestrian is running over the street, sometimes the vehicles are too close and too fast, so that the vehicle is basically crashing into the pedestrian. Thankfully, in City Skylines, nobody is getting hurt, nobody is dying. But now the system has a problem because the pedestrian gets the error, whoa, don't move, cars getting closer. Second problem, cars getting the error, whoa, don't move, pedestrians getting closer because they're standing on top of each other. And so nobody moves till 24 hours into the game, or sometimes even longer. One of the two things is getting resetted, and then the whole traffic jam is disappearing. Or what you can do is you can just remove the street and rebuild the street again, and then you can see that this whole thing is resetting, and then the traffic jam is disappearing. But I have to do this a little bit too often as of late. Like, seriously, I have those issues far too often as of late, and I have to manually go in there to remove the traffic jam. And frankly speaking, that's not really what I want to do. Another thing which drives me crazy. So I had some traffic issues with getting people over here, and you can see it right now, right? So I created a tunnel here to get people faster into the living areas, and they started to utilize it. Then I realized, oh shit, okay, so they're using this area in particular. Maybe I should upgrade the street to make it a 3-lane street instead of a 1-lane street. Duh. I kid you not, a few minutes into this, they started to take this road instead. They're just sometimes moving around depending on how they feel this day, and they are starting to use this road. So I was like, okay, you know what? Yeah, sure. Let me upgrade this road if you're taking this, because that's apparently a path you choose. But then they were like, yeah, we will use this road again, but we will use this side lane as of now. We will just use this side lane. I have done some changes here. Now they are not using this anymore, but they have been using this side lane in particular for quite some time. And that was the point where I didn't care anymore, where I just said, you know what? You want to live in a traffic jam hell? Well, this is your life now. Get used to it. Because I just don't care anymore. And to be honest, it seems like my people also don't care that they're really in a traffic jam. And traffic is just such a sore point in this game. Keep in mind, this is an old save. I have done already some changes. I just wanted to show you the vehicle standing in the middle of the road. But it's just so infuriating, and you can't really do much about it. Yes, as I said, my city is not necessarily the best when it comes to the traffic, and I made some changes, but still, it's a bummer. But that's not the only thing. We're not just talking about traffic here. We are talking about the school system. I made a whole video about it, how it works, and that there is basically no education system in this game. And if you want to know the details, you find that in the video description. Or electricity. I made a whole video about which electricity buildings are actually useful, and it turns out it's only 2. Out of all the electricity buildings you have, it's only 2 of them which are really useful. Again, if you want to know which one that is, you can find the link down below in the video description. And it goes on and on, like the whole thing with exporting your wares, they still haven't fixed that. It's still not working. Let's talk about open transport system. Far too many people do not use the open transport systems, even though it would be so much better for them and so much faster instead of driving around with the car. And it goes on and on that you sometimes wonder, what am I doing about this? Can I do anything about it? And often or not, you are ending up with, no, I just have to wait and see. I have to wait for the fixes. That's not really great. And so the reality is, for the future of Cities Skylines 2, we have to wait for fixes. And looking at some of the bugs this game has, or that they still, a month into the release, haven't fixed the export thingy, tells me we will be here for a while to just wait for the fixes. And it will make things so much more problematic, right? And it's really unfortunate that they decided to release this game in the state it came out, and that a lot of people now have, well, a pretty bad first impression of this game. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. They decided to go for the release of this game in the state it is in, so that's their fault. But I think there is some really great stuff here. And when they finally figure out what to do about it, right, and how to fix it, then I can totally see that with some DLCs and patches, this game will be probably better than the first one. But the reality is, that will take a few years, not months, years. And that's a bit unfortunate. But nonetheless, thank you so much for watching. I know this video did go a little bit longer than usual, but I really had to get this off my chest. So thank you very much for watching and hanging out with me. And we will be back to our regular guide scheduled videos very soon. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like. And also, if you enjoy strategy games, you came to the right channel, because we are not just covering City Skylines 2, we are covering strategy games with a focus here and there, as you can see with all my City Skylines videos as of late. But again, if you enjoy that, please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and I hope I see you next time. Bye bye.